Knives. I'm Jared. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully all is well. We are live on Neevesknives. Um, oh man, I left my jewel in the other room. In just a second, I gotta go get it. One of you guys are gonna have to run the live for 10 seconds. All right, so I do got a bunch of stuff written down. I don't think I came up with a story topic, but maybe one of you guys can think of some keywords to shoot me so I can cut. What the hell? Where the hell did my book? Oh, it's over here. Maybe one of you guys can shoot me some keywords to come up with a good story for tonight. I think I wrote down something short, but it's kind of short. Talica, what's up, bud? Okay, so I got this Liang Ma in for to work on. It's got some I mean, it seems like a solid knife. I forget the name of it. Oh, is it on here? The Warrior, the Liang Ma Warrior. So it's titanium, S35VN, and carbon fiber. This carbon fiber's unique though. It's not like regular carbon fiber. My shit's not gonna focus though. Not mine. It's pretty cool though, but it's got some issues. One of them is when you say if you open it, right? Which I know this isn't a functional issue and probably wouldn't be a big deal, but when you open it, it's got some rattle. So the pivot is the hole in the blade is a little bit too big for the pivot. If that makes sense. So there's a little bit of rattle in there. So I'm going to attempt to get a hold of Liang Ma and see if he can shoot me a new pivot for this one. The other things is just that it needs a new edge, but it's going to need quite a bit of steel removal. One side has been free-handed, and the other side was free-handed as well. They just messed up the angle. So you can tell they attempted to freehand sharpen it. The person that did it, because not the owner, he bought it. So but you know, if that happens, you know, that can be fixed, no problem. Just gonna take a little bit of steel removal. Technically, I could fix it without removing a lot of steel. It's just it wouldn't be as beautiful as if I removed a bunch of steel because there'd be scratches on the top of my new bevel. So, but pretty nice knife though. First time I've ever checked one of these out. And we got a lot of topics to talk about, so let's get past this one. Put this back. So I was on I don't know if you guys seen that. Ray posted it this morning. Everyday City Carry, me and Kara were on his live the other day, or not live, on his podcast the other day. That was pretty interesting. That was a good time. We did like a 3-hour show. He said that was the longest one he's ever had, so that was definitely a lot of fun. We got into a lot of different topics, so it was pretty crazy. Maybe we'll talk about that a little bit later. It's a little too early in this show to talk about that. So how many people are in here? There's this topic I want to talk about, but I figure I'll wait for a couple people to get in here. I know sometimes it takes a second. All right, we'll wait for that one. Damn it, sorry. Petrified Fish has got a pretty cool new knife design out. The Beluga. I thought it looked pretty cool. I've never tried one, but it looks pretty interesting. It's practically a full flat grind, but it's a top or front flipper. Now, I don't know. So I like front flippers. I do like front flippers, but some knives, I wish they had another another form of deployment, because it's like they front flipping's cool. I like front flippers, but I just don't like it to be the only type of action unless if that front flipping action is like the shit. Like just like great. Like it has to be like amazing front flipping action. Now, I'm sure you guys might have seen this knife on a couple people's, or at least on one person's channel. Was the Beluga. Um, but yeah, I was thinking about this the other day, like, you know, with some front flippers, like some I really like and some I don't so much. But here is the knife. You can see it here. I mean, it seems like a okay, or it looks like a good looking knife, but I don't know. I guess I should watch a video on it because I'm not sure if you can reverse flick off of this fuller, but I seen some in my Carta. It looks like a pretty cool knife, though. I like how it has a nice tall flat grind. The ergos look super comfortable. I just wonder if you can reverse flick it or not. I almost bought one. They're not expensive, but I seen some really good looking ones on Instagram. They looked I think they were definitely my Carta. They looked really cool. It was cool to see MBK Slay back to best factory EDC knife of the year. Awesome. That's cool. Congrats to them. I seen a picture of Nick Shabazz from the side with a mask on. That was pretty interesting. That's the most I've seen of Nick Shabazz, more than I've seen of Zach stuff. Jared, that petrified fish looks like that thick too something. Yeah, it does. It does kind of, for sure. You're right. It does. Except with a fuller. But I wonder if that fuller works. I guess I should watch a video. I've seen them around. I just never watched the videos. But the ones I seen on Instagram made me like think about it. Now I did make a purchase and I'm pretty excited about it. It's going to be a while till it gets here. If you guys were watching on Lefty Live the other day, because man, I did like 5-6 podcasts in a row or whatever it was. But I wound up getting that Tucson I wanted, which it's a new design. It's the guy's first design, which I didn't know till after I bought it. I'll show you guys a picture. Hopefully I can get it to pull up because it's a brand new one. But man, it looks so badass. It looks like it's my style of knife for sure. Let's see if we can find some images. Damn it, I knew there wasn't going to be any damn images because it's so new. But I can get it though. I can get it, guys. Don't worry. Don't worry. Just gonna have to go on here probably. Okay, here it is. What the fuck just happened? So pissed me off. But I did win it. I paid a lot more than I wanted to, but I just wanted to win. I was like, I don't feel like sitting here and dicking around. Just give it to me. So I got it. Here's the picture. We'll flip through the picture once I bring you guys in here. So it is, hopefully there ain't no damn addresses or anything up here. It probably is, knowing me. I don't see anything. Okay. So it is I guess it's like a sheep's foot, but it's kind of like how I talk about like where you get the mixture between like a spear point and a sheep's foot at the same time. And that's what I love about that blade shape. Almost like a Contigo blade shape or like a 940 almost. I love it. I love the blade shape. Now the blade length is like 3.3, 3.4. So it's under 3.5. So it's not a massive knife, but you can tell it's a good size knife. Now, The designer, this is his first design. That kind of scared me a little bit. However, it's Tucson. So I'm hoping for the best. I think it might, I mean, we'll see, right? I did pay out the ass for it, but fuck it. I mean, I wanted it so bad. Like, it was like, I need this. I need this. Because literally I was looking for, I wanted a flipper reverse flicking knife. Like, I'm kind of sick of, not sick of, I do like the top flipping reverse flicking knives. It just seems like that's all I keep finding. Like, I want, you know, kind of like this Kubi right here. Like, I was happy that this is a flipper and a reverse flicker. I really like that. And this is that. Now, it looks like it has a thick ass blade stock, but it looks like it gets down to a reasonable edge. Maybe it's not, maybe it is a hard use thick grind. I don't know. I won't know till I get it. That leads me to my next subject. Oh yeah, this is the designer right here. That's his logo. It's funny though. You notice how they stamped the number on here, TS380. Isn't that cool? They normally don't do that. I don't know what just happened, but yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it. Now, the next subject. So I sent Tucson like a message. I don't know, over a week ago, asking them if I like trying to talk to them to see if we can work out a deal where I can get maybe some early access to the Tucson's dropping, but to buy. All right, so I'll buy them outright, but so I can get them on the channel. It's like a win-win for both of us. I'm still paying for the knives, or maybe if I can get them to send them to me, that'd be awesome too, but I doubt that. Is my mom in here? Hey mom. I just got off the phone with her. But I don't know. I'm waiting for their email now. They seemed like they acted like we can maybe possibly work something out, and they got my email, so now they're gonna email me back. How many people are in here? 68. Okay, let's get into this some more subjects. Oh, Megaron has a new knife design that's out. I don't know if you guys have seen it or not, but it looks pretty damn sweet. Like really sweet. Let me get out of this. So it's another front flipper, but I think it looks pretty cool because the titanium has like the titanium has like dimpling on it, or I'll just show you guys. Da, 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 da. Let me just pull it up. Okay, here it is. This thing's pretty cool. It looks pretty cool. Now there's another one coming. I'm gonna pull this up, but there is another one coming that is not without the dual grind. So you see how this one has the dual grind on it? They have there's only going to be 70 of these ones. I'm not sure on the second run, maybe just another 70, but this one there's going to be 65, 70. I think they said 65 in the thing, but I think they're making an extra 5. But you can tell that they have a taller, thinner grind up towards the tip, and then a thicker, beefier grind back here in the flat area, you know, where you really need a lot of leverage into like thick, dense wood or whatever, or thick cardboard. Now, it is a top flipper. Here's the other side. And you can see the dimpling is on both sides, whatever you would call that. I'm going to call it dimpling. You like the dual grind, Robert? I kind of do too. He asked me which one I liked better between this one and the plain one. So the plain one would just be the same grind all the way across. The thing I don't know, and I probably should have looked closer now that I'm thinking about it, I can't remember. I don't know if it's the you know, the tip area, so the thinner grind like that all the way back, or if it's like the more robust section all the way forward. either way, I don't know. I kind of like this one, but I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to say. I think this one's kind of cool just because it is unique. Let's flip to the next page so we can look at it closed. I like that little pivot too. It looks pretty cool. All right, there it is closed, and you can see it is a front flipper. Now, the next thing, that jimping looks so good. The jimping looks great. That sucker is nice, dude. Yeah, I think so too. Look at the knife. I'll be 2 seconds. Like literally, I'm only going 30 feet. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. Gotta be more prepared. But yeah, man, this thing looks sweet. Oh, yeah, here it goes. But that front flipper looks like it's jimped perfectly. It looks like it's like the perfect height. Yeah, this thing looks sweet. I love that texture look on there. I do not like front flippers, but it's nice. I know. I was literally just saying that I'm kind of over front flippers right now. I like front flippers. Don't get me wrong. I like them. I just don't like every fucking knife design to be a front flipper. But I get it though. I get why they decided to do this. I get it because right now front flippers are hot. They are. They're hot. So, okay, that's cool. And I like it. I think it looks awesome. I do wish there was another deployment option though. Like it's kind of tight inside there, so really I don't think they could put another deployment option unless if it was a regular flipper. You like the more top flipper way? I do agree with that kind of. There are the ones that are like that. The ones that are directly on the top, I do kind of like those, possibly even a little bit more than the traditional front flipper because the top flipper allows you to do it like I don't have one sitting here, but to just do it like this. Or you could do it like this. So you have the option, which I agree. I think that is a little bit better just because you have more options. What's up, Sniz? I don't I can do all of them, but what I think is that they become irritating sometimes. Sometimes your hands are wet and you just don't want to do that. Or sometimes you get fatigued, like sitting there and doing that over and over. You can only do so much and you just get sick of it. Like it starts becoming irritating unless if it has a very, very light D10. Oh, here I got a front flipper right here. Now, certain ones are really good. Now, like I said, if they have a second deployment option, then it's cool. I'm down with it. But a primary only that. Certain knives, though, like the McKenna, fantastic. Certain knives work out great like that because they're just so easy, like so easy that you can sit there and do it all day and it's not a big deal. But some, you know, but we'll see. That one looks pretty awesome. What's up, Russ? Jared, I picked up a couple knives at the show with a button lock Elementum and the Hogue K320. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. The Exarch, the Kaiser Comorant, man, I haven't tried that one yet. I'm trying to get Kaiser to send me their new one. They got a new one that's basically the same, but it's not white and black. John Powell's not a front flipper guy either. Inner City Pigeon says Pena style. Yeah, the Penas are really nice, but those fall into the category of the easy ones, you know. But I don't know. I just wish there was another option, like not just the front flipper when you do a front flipper, unless if it's like a small, you know, I don't know. like a McKenna. Okay, so I was talking with a knife designer, and we were getting into we had a long, awesome conversation about grinds, and we went all different directions with it. But we were talking about geometry and grinds and some of the problems that some of the designers have with the companies, because some companies, the way they're tooled, they can't do, like, they can't go less than 20 thousandths behind the edge, or they can't go under 15 thousandths behind the edge, or they have a certain stock blade stock thickness that they'll go down to, but they won't try to go any less. So for whatever reason, they won't. Like, that's what they're set up for. That's what they can do. And so they can only do so much when they're working with certain companies. They can only convince them to do so much. But then we were talking about hard use grinds. And I was kind of explaining that the problem, and this is my opinion, and I've spoken about this with a lot of people. The problem is that you have real hard use, right? What is real hard use? Real hard use would be batoning, right? Smacking the back of your spine, prying, scraping, doing things that you wouldn't do normally with a knife, right? Hard use cutting is a separate category. So hard use cutting, right? Even though you want it to be a tough knife, you don't want it to have like a hard use grind. You want it to be able to cut efficiently, like, so really good geometry, while still being slightly tougher than, say, a light duty knife. Like, so, and I'm saying that because if the, and this, just like some of the things I was saying. So like, if you have a knife that is a hard use grind, but the lock that's on the knife would snap or break or fail before the blade would snap, then it doesn't make much sense, right? Because now you can't hard use it. You can't even get the potential of that grind to use without it failing. And all you're getting is just shittier cutting performance. You're not even getting any benefits out of it. You're only getting downfalls. Maurice, what's up, bud? Thanks for the 5 bones. Don't you start today, Maurice. Don't you start. Hopefully he's not drinking tonight. Hopefully he's not drinking. Well, Cold Steel must think everyone wants to use their knives as grappling hooks. Right. Exactly. That's my point. Is that in that case, you can make grinds very thick. You can make them ultra robust or slicey, whatever. Doesn't matter. The lock's going to support it. Now, say a liner lock, right? Let's just say a regular liner lock. There's no reason on a regular liner lock. And let's say it is a regular liner lock. How thick is the liner lock? How big is the stop pin? How thick are the actual liners? How big's the hardware? How tough is this thing? What are you doing with the knife? Right? Or should I say this? What is it made to do? That's the good question. What is the knife made to do? Because if the knife is only made for cutting, right? Let's say it's only made for cutting, that's it. And you're going to say it's made for hard use cutting. So long-term cutting. So what that says to me is that the handle has to be comfortable. That's the difference. The handle is super comfortable and you're not going to fatigue over long periods of time. However, the grind has to have the ability to go through materials nicely, as nice as possible. No, it's not going to be micro thin because, you don't want it to bend or anything like that, putting a lot of pressure behind it. But it doesn't need to be crazy thick, prying thick, right? It doesn't need to do that. You need the best geometry possible because you're going to be doing long-term cutting with it, right? So The big difference is the ergos there. Now, and like I said, now if you take that grind up a notch and now you start taking away from the cutting performance by making it a little thicker, now it's more robust, now it's a harder use grind. Well, if the cutting potential goes down, then the strength of the handle better go up, because it doesn't fucking make sense. Why would you lose cutting potential? Why would you do that? You don't want to lose cutting potential over here, unless if you're going to gain some benefits over here by, reinforcing the pivot, reinforcing the stop in, an extra strong lock. It can withstand, some real tough use. And like I said, and if you're going to say, well, it's not made to do that, then why the fuck do you have that type of grind on there? Make it thinner, make it easier to pass through materials. It doesn't need to like I said, if the lock is going to fail, right? Like, it doesn't make sense. Now, I think, let me take a hit. What's up, Swords and Knives? Fiends in the house. Now, certain grinds now, meaning from the spine to the tip. Think of this, the PM2, right? PM2 is a great, thing to use for this. So a PM2, a thick spine. I think it's like 145 thousandths or 140, whatever. It's thick, but it tapers down to the tip very thin, right? The tip is not strong. You can't pry with a PM2. You can't. The tip will snap. Everybody knows the tip will snap because fucking everybody's running around with a PM2 with a broken tip. Not everybody, but there's people. And the people learn from the other people not to do stupid shit with the PM2 because the tip will snap, right? So, why is the grind as thick as it is? Meaning the spine. I know it gets down to about 20 thousandths behind the edge, and the only reason why it cuts so good is because it has a full flat grind. It's a complete full flat grind. However, why do they need the spine of that thing that thick? 150 thousandths or 100, whatever it is. Why isn't it 120 thousandths? I mean, think about this. You cannot pry with it because the tip will break. So why not increase the cutting performance? Because you're not going to get any benefits, from 120 thousandths to 150 thousandths. The only thing you're losing is cutting performance. It's not going to really be any weaker, right? The tip is already weak. The only difference is the thickest part of the spine. You leave the tip the same thickness, but the back of the spine, Maurice, you're starting with me. Thank you, Maurice. Thanks for the 5 bones. I think he's drinking, guys. I think he's drinking. We might have to block him tonight. Did that for Joe. Oh, okay. That one's for Joe. For Forged in Steel. So, where was I? Okay, so the tip of this, the knife is going to change. So the only thing that will change is the actual back of the spine. And I'm not complaining about the PM2. I'm not. I'm giving like just an example of kind of what I'm talking about. So the compression lock is a strong lock. It is. It supports what they have there. But does it though? Like, I think in testing, it held 140 pounds on the spine. I think that's what it holds, about 140 pounds before it snaps. Something like that, 140, 150 pounds. But it can withstand spine wax, because I think Demco says in order to withstand spine wax, it has to be able to support 100 pounds. If it can support 100 pounds, then it'll support spine whacking. So it can support spine whacking to an extent, but it's not made for spine whacking. You can tell it's not made for spine whacking. I mean, one, the grind, like meaning the taper, doesn't match a spine whacking knife. And it just doesn't, it's not, you can tell it's not that type of knife. So why wouldn't you increase the cutting performance since it can't pry and it can't spine whack? Like, what benefits are you getting out of it, right? With a little bit thicker grind, not much, right? There's a reason why Calica in here had his reground. I have a cool as Hinder vintage series in my hand with my XM18 Bowie chilling on my lap. Yeah, he's got badass um a badass fixed blade. It's got the vintage wood on it. Man, it looks so good. It looks sweet. So, but talking about this, about the grinds now, I understand that there are some, like, say, a titanium frame lock that has a decent size stop pin, a little bit more robust. I get it, right? There's some that you want a little bit more robust because you want to be able to do that little bit of extra, right? Maybe not quite prying, but maybe very, very light duty prying. Let's say that very, very light duty prying. I understand like having that middle zone. I get that. But with certain knives, like depending on the lock better support what you're doing with the grind. If it's not going to support what you're doing with the grind, there's no point in making a beefy grind. Right? I like beefy knives. Sorry, Canada in here, guys. I'm sorry. Fucking Canada. We'll give it about 1 minute. Let it catch up really quick. So the compression lock has a piece of steel sandwiched between tang and stop pin. When locked open, liner lock just puts pressure on the tang. Yeah, it's a liner lock that separates the tang of the blade and the stop pin. It is a robust lock for like compared to a liner lock. Yes, it's stronger than a liner lock and it's more robust than a liner lock. Is it a access lock? No. It'll never hold. Like an access lock is way stronger than a compression lock, but it's a tough lock. It is a very tough lock. Thanks, Maurice, if that was to me. I have 4 fixed blades, best being cheap here, just getting started. Willow's just getting started. It's a deep rabbit hole. Jared, do you like the Civivi Imperium front flipper? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yeah, it's a good front flipper, and I really like that they, like we were talking about earlier, I like that they gave you another form of deployment. But there's a reason why Civivi knives and Wiha knives are just knocking it out of the park, because they're doing thin grinds. Their blade stocks usually are about 120 thousandths, and they get down to like 15 thousandths behind the edge on average. So they're made to cut. They're made to do what a knife is made to do. Now, like I said, there are times when you want a little bit more robust. But like I said, you got to think, what is this knife for? What's it made for? You know what I mean? Like you have to fill those, that, like to me personally, like that's what I think about in my head when I think about designing a knife or buying a knife, or when I look at a knife, I say, what is this knife made for? Exactly. Is it made for cutting and that's it? Is it just made for cutting? Then why, then why doesn't it have a cutting geometry, right? Why are we using these super steels that are from the fucking space program if not to take advantage of them? Now, like I said, I understand having, that doesn't mean it has to be 8 thousandths behind the edge, with a 12,000 or 12,000 spine. But it also doesn't need to be 160,000 spine and 23 thousandths behind the edge. 15 to 18 thousandths, even 20,000. And this is another thing. You can have 20 thousandths behind the edge. That's fine. Like that's a great thickness behind the edge. but the spine better be thin then, right? Because like say the TRMs, they're 90 thousandths on the spine, 90 thousandths. So they're built like this, even though they're thicker behind the edge, they're not built like this. They're built like this. So they might be a little thicker behind the edge, but the grind is so thin they blaze through things. They cut great. So, and in that case, it has such a slow geometry from the spine to the tip, a very slow geometry. It doesn't go, from the spine to the edge really quick like an axe. So even on their shadow, right? Their shadow, that's a hard use knife. That's considered like a tougher knife. It's an axis lock. It's got a nice tall grind, and it's like 18 to 20 thousandths behind the edge, 90 thousand spine. Fucking thing cuts like a champ. It's a tough knife. It's perfect. That's a perfect thickness for a tough knife. Now, if you want to go hard use, all right, then you can increase the spine. You don't need to increase the thickness behind the edge on that one. On that one, you would just increase the fucking spine. Maurice! Somebody's gonna have to take Maurice's computer from him. Magna Cut is alien steel. Yes, I'm excited to try that stuff. And that's another thing. So I'm glad you said that, because that's another thing, picking the right steel. And this goes to, I'm gonna talk about Super Steel Steve, Maurice, Super Steel Steve. A while back, a lot of you guys might have not have seen this, but he did a video on the Benchmade bailout when it first came out. I know a lot of you guys seen it. So, and correct me if I'm wrong, those of you that have seen it. So, the Benchmade bailout had just came out in 3V steel. Now, I think it was FRN, right? An axis lock is tough, but it had 3V steel, so hard use steel. And even though it had a tough lock, the scales were light duty. So you couldn't pry with it, is what I'm trying to say. Why do you need 3V? 3V is a mega tough steel. That's a hard use steel. Now, when he went to test it, what did they find out? It was soft. So one, the edge retention went right downhill. The edge retention sucked. Let's just say that. It sucked. Since then, they've improved it, but I'm talking about what happened then during the testing, and we'd still have this today if this test didn't happen. So the steel was soft. Then he went to test it to see, well, can this thing actually do what they're saying? Because they were saying that they made it softer, so that, and they lied about their HRC, by the way, but it was softer, and they said, because they wanted it more harder use. Why? Why would you need that steel more harder use than it would already be at an optimal HRC, at a higher HRC where you get better edge retention when it's not made for hard use? So he put it through some hard use. What happened? The blade bent, catastrophic failure, and the scales snapped. The scales snapped. So the scales couldn't hold up to the pressure of the blade, and the blade couldn't hold up either. I mean, it bent because it was soft, right? The scale still broke. So regardless of the blade bending, the scales broke. It couldn't withstand the torture of which 3V being soft could take. So why use 3V? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, 3V is a very tough steel. There's no reason to put 3V on there. And if you're gonna at least heat treat it to a point to where you're gonna get good good edge retention. So it just showed the holes in that logic, right? They're trying to sell a hard use knife that's not hard use in reality. You could say it's a hard use cutter, and I'm not shitting on the bailout. I'm just saying what happened, right? I'm just saying what happened. Benjamin, thank you, man. Thank you for the donation. Fist bump to you, brother. Thank you. I appreciate all the donations, guys. Doesn't tough mean it bends rather than breaks? Okay, let's talk about that. So, yes and no. So, soft means it bends, like meow. Tough means it bends and comes back. Because I'm trying to line it up. Because if it bends, you want it to come back to true. That's why, like on like Forged in Fire, you see them do that bend test, and then when they let it go, it comes back to true. That's the point. If it's soft, it won't come back. It'll just go. You don't want that. That's bad. That's just as bad as it breaking. Because what's going to happen when you bend it back? You can't bend it back. If you bend it back, it's going to break because it's going to get fatigued. It's going to have micro cracks or micro, it'll have micro cracks inside of it. So you can't bend it back. It's going to break. So they now like take that out of it and say it was heat treated perfectly. And the steel could hold up, right? That means you could, it's 3V, ground how they ground it, tough as nails, right? Tough as nails. You can bend with it or pry with it. You can do crazy shit with it. You can cut with it all day because it has a hard edge. The scales can't. The scales can't take it because the scales are light duty. You see what I'm saying? See where I'm going? Maurice, put the beer down, Maurice. Put the beer down. Put it down. Fatigue, exactly. Fatigue. So you see where I'm going? Like that logically just doesn't make sense. So you can kind of fit that category into a lot of things with hard use knives or just knives in general, right? Like I like the way they did the Mannix because they like unlike the PM2, which I like the PM2. I'm not dogging on the PM2. I think the PM2 is fine. I'm just using it as an example. But with the Mannix, they made it thinner on the spine. This is 130 thousandths on the spine instead of 100 and whatever Spider, 150, I think, or something, 147, something like that. But they understood, or they kind of changed it because the tip is just as thin. The tip is just as breakable. So you can't pry with it. You can't do anything with the tip but utility cuts, but cutting tasks. So now they increase the cutting performance by making the spine a little bit thinner, right? The lock is still extremely tough, extremely strong, able to hold up, but it's able to cut much better since it's not technically it's in that category that I was talking about where is it a hard use knife? Yes, it's a hard use cutter. It's not a hard use pry bar or hard use, like the knives that are like a multi-tool. It's not that. It's a hard use cutter, meaning you can reliably cut with it all day comfortably. Let's say your hands are comfortable on it, but the grind is going to slice through really nicely without chipping or fatigue. When you pull it out, it's not going to bend or snap or anything like that, but it's not made for actual hard use, right? It's made for hard use cutting. I think there's a difference there, and I think we need to separate that. Usually I'm drunk now too, but can't drink tonight. I have to go somewhere tomorrow, and I have a breathalyzer on my car, and I won't be able to start my car tomorrow if I drink tonight. Yep, that'll happen. That'll happen. You got the camera too. And people used to just bring people with them to blowing it for them, but now they have a camera usually. Jared, I got to play with Hoag's knives with polymer scales. In my opinion, it's going to replace FRN. I like it. I haven't tried a lot of those Hoags. I need to. Actually, I've only tried one Hoag. I think, two Hoags. And they're both the same knife. Just one was the mini, the RSK MK1 and the mini. Cutting more aggressive materials is always fun with bad steel. Yeah, Todd. It's always fun with bad steel. Yeah, I knew you did. That was I guess a rhetorical question because I don't think they put them in anybody's cars anymore without putting the camera in them. All I have to do is watch the Bears versus the Raiders. Go Bears. Need to get the breathalyzer in my car. It sucks. Yeah, that does suck because you have to pay for it. I don't know how much it's going to cost you, but I think it's like $250 just to get it installed. And then you got to pay monthly. I've never had one, but I know lots of people who have. I knew people who got them and didn't even get a damn DUI. Stupid. I just got an Emerson A100 that I'm about to bang out with. Awesome. Hell yeah. Jared, I know price doesn't matter, but what is your most expensive knife in your collection? Probably the Rockstud. Yeah, it's got to be. Well, it would be the Rockstud, but if you take my Hinders and take the parts and the scales, the Hinder XM24 actually. I got the Hinder XM24 with the titanium scale, but then I also have a few G10 scales. So if you put all that stuff together, my Hinder XM24. But if you just take knife for knife, then the Rockstud. Yeah, HCR will go dull quick, Ruben. If you're cutting lots of cardboard, I would say you don't need to get a super steel. What you want is a good responsive steel to strops. So what I would recommend is like maybe the ARRPM 9 steel. The edge retention won't last very long, but it strops back really good and you can do it multiple times. So you can keep it going for quite a while, because you can just strop it back or hone it back. 14C28N is very responsive to strops. HCR is responsive to strops. The problem is the edge retention's on the lowest end. You know what I mean? So what you can do is you can increase the edge retention a little bit while still keeping the stropping response. So your edge retention will double. Do you see what I'm saying? Then you can get a lot more cutting out of it. Then just buy one of them Work Sharp Field, the Work Sharp Field Sharpener. Just get one of those, $32 or something like that, and you'll be able to maintain your knife all day at work. And it's only this big. I mean, it's just a little thing. You can throw it in your back pocket if you want to, but you can hone and strop on it very easily, and you can keep any steel maintained at work, even Maximet or whatever. I've heard that you can use a pre-filled balloon to blow for you. At least you used to be able to. I haven't had one, but I had friends tell me that. I have no idea what that means. I don't know what that means. You mean you're blowing up balloons with other balloons? Thoughts on Arnold Bernard knives and N690 steel? Thank you, Willow. Arnold Bernard's knives are out of this world. He makes handmade knives. He's South African, and he makes incredible knives. Incredible knives. The N690. It's a custom. So one, you're not using a custom like you're going to use a regular knife. Two, it's a custom heat treat. So that N690 is going to be usually, I'm not going to say always, usually it's going to be better than N690 you'd get anywhere else, for sure, because it's not heat treated on a production level where you're doing hundreds of knives. they're doing one knife at a time. It's got the best kind of heat treat you can imagine on N690. So don't even, it's hard for people's brains to get that concept. It really is. It was for me too for a long time until I understood it by feeling it and using it and testing it. A custom heat treated steel is way better than a production heat treated steel. It just is. It's far, far better. It's like the difference between McDonald's and home cooked meals, right? A home cooked meal is always going to be better than McDonald's or Taco Bell or something. Or say real Mexican food versus Taco Bell, right? It's, there's no comparison. So try not to think of just N690. Think of the benefits of having a custom heat treated steel. So you're going to have that potential. And then everything's hand done. Everything's handmade, hand fit. So yes, there's going to be some micro inconsistencies compared to a production knife, yet there's going to be things that are way better on it. So certain things are just going to be, because it's hand tuned, it's finely hand tuned, so the action's going to be really good. All those things are going to be incredible. Now the grind, yeah, there might be, because it's hand done, right? The grind is hand done. It might not be perfect. But fuck, a lot of production companies don't get it perfect. There's a couple that do, but most of them don't. IKS Steve loves flicking his bane. I think all guys like flicking the bane. Oh, we're talking about the Panchico? Oh, I thought we were talking about something else. Okay, okay, I think I got done with that. Oh, I wanted to show you guys this one stuff, but damn it, I'm not gonna be able to pull it up now. You know what? I know how I can do it. So, in Lefty's Live the other day, he was talking about this stuff that you can use on lock stick. And I found it actually because Nick Shabazz did a video on it a long time ago. So I actually found it and figured I'd show you guys. Let me just pull it up really quick. Let's see if I can get it to come up.
Hi everybody, Nick here, and I got a quick tip.
Let me just pause it because I can just show it to you guys. Okay, here it is. What just happened? All right, about this. I'll go like this. All right. Can you guys see that? Oh, no. Let me go like this. Bang, get that out of there. All right, there it is right there. I accidentally showed you guys some of my Instagram. Stop looking. No. The Ox Guard, this stuff is supposed to be good for lock stick. So if you guys have a knife with some lock stick issues, this might possibly help. At least from Nick Shabazz says it does. So you guys can't even see what I'm showing you right now. Holy shit. I'm sorry. I don't know why it did that. It got off. You guys know I'm not that great at this. I'll be better one of these days. One of these days, I will be better at this. There you guys go. So, if you guys look here, this stuff right here is Ox Guard. So I was telling Lefty about the marker, the permanent marker, and the permanent marker and lead trick or pencil. But this stuff seems like it might be a little bit more long-term help or a long-term fix. Now, obviously, you can send it to Richie B and Lindy Lou, and they can just carbonize it for you. But this is a good way to get by or possibly do multiple knives. Jared, did you see the pics I sent you of that edge? I'm not sure. I don't think I did. I don't think I did yet. I'll check it out. I don't think I did yet, but I'll see it. Kareem, thank you, man. I don't know what a sec is, but I appreciate it. I'm just gonna act like it's 20 bones. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man. Cool. Thank you, bud. I appreciate that. What have you been up to, Kareem? Long time no see. I wonder if spark plug anti-seize would work, or maybe graphite powder. Graphite powder will work. There's a lot of things that'll work. You know, carbonizing is the best, but then there's other little fixes. Figured I'd show you guys that one. The marker and lead work wonders for me on my hinder. They work great on a lot of things. I think the reason why it wasn't, you guys weren't there probably, but Lefty EDC tried the permanent marker and lead trick, and I guess it wasn't working for him. My guess is that he just didn't put enough layers on, because sometimes you have to put multiple layers, you know. But let's say it just wasn't really working. My guess is that it was just such a tight fit that it was just crushing it off. But to me, it's like that's when it needs layers on both, right? So maybe you might need to take it apart and put layers on both. Maybe that's the case. Take it all the way apart, put it on the lock face, on both lock faces. Tang of the blade and your lock bar. Bam, bam. Maurice! 20 bones all together for me too. That's true, Maurice. That's true. Stop while you're ahead, Maurice. Stop while you're ahead. You'll be waking up tomorrow like, damn it, that was all my beer money for Sunday. Thank you, man. I appreciate it though. Seriously, thank you. I do always appreciate the donations. You guys are awesome. It didn't work because he was drawing dicks. That's probably true. That's probably true. Well, that's another thing I was thinking of, Todd, was that, and I actually said that his lock face most likely is like this, where, not trying to flip you guys off. Let's go like this way. So like there's like one piece of metal that's sticking up higher than the rest of his lock face, because it's a titanium lock face, no lock bar insert. So it has just like a little tiny, I can only do it with my middle finger, you fucks, but like a little tiny piece hanging up a little bit harder, and it's scratching that surface. That's why I said you could just take literally a piece of sandpaper and just go, that's it. Like, don't scrub it, not a bunch of, like, none of that shit, just a little, really quick, knock it down a little bit, then see how it feels. I bet that would have fixed it. I've done that so many times and it works. But I'm not saying it works for everybody. I'm saying I've done it a lot of times and it worked for me. Can't guarantee for you. Don't forget to show your support on Patreon. Fiend, man, you always have my back. Thank you, man. Yes, I appreciate all the supporters through Patreon, all my patrons. Thank you so much for all the support. And if you guys do want to support me through Patreon, there is the link. Thank you, Fiend. Hey, now football's back, so that Sunday beer money is an absolute must. That is from Jay Friedman. But yeah, Jared, I picked up my first custom knife factory piece. I'm pretty excited. I'm not expecting it to be total on par, but will it be around the area of my churros? Depends. What depends on which one it is. So they have custom knife factory knives that they're good. They're great knives, but they're about on par with some Riats. Then it just depends, because there's different ones. They have some that are on Shuro level. They have some that are on Wheeze level. They have some that are on Two Sons level, and they have some that are on Riats level. It just depends, you know. I don't know which one it is, but yeah. I got the 520 full tie. Now, yes, that's where you're up there. Yes, that's a good one for sure. It happens, John. It happens. Got to go through those little tough times sometime to get past them and get to some more knives. Or you just do what a lot of people do and bundle them up and say, hey, I want to trade or sell these for these. You can always do that. You know, trade 2 for 1s, 3 for 1s, 5 for 1s, or 1 for 1, or do a couple knife sales. You know, you got some leeway if you ain't got no cash. How many times would you have to drop a liner lock knife on your thumbnail before it cuts through? Guy has too much free time. I'd say it depends on the geometry. It depends on the edge geometry. So the blade geometry, edge geometry, and is it sharp? Is it fresh? How heavy is the knife? Is it a Demco? Is it a Medford? Or is it a bug out, right? So I think there's just a lot of factors at play there. But I would say no more than if you hit the exact same spot with a fresh, nasty, sharp edge, no more than 20 times with a regular weighted knife. Like if it's very light, then I would say probably even more. But my thumbnail fucked up that Sabenza landed on it. That can happen. What happened? Damn it! What happened to that custom wood Neevesknives plaque? Oh, I got it. I got it. You want to see it? I got it. It's right over here. Lefty had his Chavez cut into his thumb through his thumbnail. Did he? He must have dropped it hard. Like, I can't imagine that happening, dropping that hard. He must have. I have some thick nails, so maybe he's got some baby nails. That's all it is. He's got some baby nails. He just got back from getting a pedicure. You know, they sand him down, so he probably thinned his nail out a little bit. I've cut all the way through my nails, man. I had 1, 2, but I'm gonna speak about 1. But and this was like 2 weeks apart from each other. I was it was this big machinery that bent like steel pipes, and I am moving this thing, and there's a pipe on it, and the pipe slipped off, and you're putting like all your body weight into it, and it smacked the corner of this metal piece on my pinky, and it just went right through it like butter, all the way through my nail, and it was down to the bone, and it fucking sucked. My nail wound up falling off. It was nasty. It was really nasty. And then a week later, I crushed this finger, or like maybe it was like a month later, but crushed this one and lost this nail. So then I had 2 nails. I lost both my nails. I didn't think they were going to grow back, but bang, I got them back. Sending my daughter $400 per week for her college trip to Italy, and I feel poor. Daddy issues, man. Daddy issues. But I get it, man. You got to take care of the daughter. I understand, man. And that ain't cheap. $400 a week. Woo! That's some money. That's some money for sure. But I'm sure she loves her daddy. So take care of your daughter. Do any of y'all have the small burgundy micarta Arion? I get the big one. I do not have the small one. The benzo is on the sharpening bench. Otherwise, I'd pull it out. I should have brought it over here. Got it. I got a plastic shelf thing, plastic drawer thing next to my sharpening bench. And what I do is I have each sharpening job, one in each drawer. So I know where my sharpening jobs are. They're always in the same place. I keep my note that everybody sends with the stuff right inside the drawer so that I can just open it up and I can see exactly whose stuff it is, exactly what they need done, and I can keep it with it. And then, I always have that stuff right there. I keep it always separate from everything else. The backlash is sweet too. The brazen has better scales, but if you want a flipper, it's a great choice. Both of them are great. Yeah, that brazen is fire. Oh man, this MKM. This is keep it off of the damn screen. So these are from Fiend. Actually, you guys seen me do the unboxing. This knife right here, I would have never thought. And maybe it was just more expensive where I could link it from, but I was finding them for like $500. Some of them were like 700. I was like, what the fuck? But then I found a link for like one for like 200 and something dollars. I don't know the normal price for it. I need to look it up. This is a badass blade shape for one. Really cool blade shape, but I would have never thought this thing was going for that much money. Now the $200 price I found is cool. That's a dope price. The jimping is kind of unique on it though. Look at this. It has big jimping and then little tiny jimping up towards the top. It's kind of weird how it's got like tight jimping right there. Sorry, I'm moving all over the place. You guys fucking don't need to see it. But it's a little weird to front flip. It's still cool though, because like you can get it down, you know, it's just getting an awkward. I don't know. Not bad. It's got a cool sound though, man. Hear that? Jared, are you a serial killer? Are you the Lakeshore Strangler? No, I'm worse than that. Depends on what county, but I'm the Pillowcase Bandit. And the other one I can't say on live. 170 from Knife Center here. Okay, there you go. $170. Now that's not bad. I could look them up on Amazon. Holy shit, man. Crazy prices. Normally, I can get better prices than a lot of places. That's why when I find links for you guys, and not always, there are times like this time where it's a little bit more money. Usually, though, I find the best price. Like sometimes I'll get like 2 or 3 prices from my Amazon affiliate links, and I'll always get the cheapest one. I never, and I just hope you guys know that. Like when I use my affiliate links, I always get the cheapest one. I have the opportunity to get one that's more expensive sometimes. I never grab that one. I always grab the cheaper one so you guys can get the best deals if you guys use my affiliate links. But most of the time though, or a lot of times it's cheaper than what you can get from like some of the knife shops. Not always, but it's at least the same price. An ass bandit. What's up, addicted? Addicted to knives. Tyler says, "Man, I had a chance to buy a Microtech Direct Delta, but I couldn't spend any more on knives right now. But yeah, it sold relatively close after. Yeah, some of those knives, man, they'll sell very fast. Maurice, thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. Man, I really do appreciate it. Phone down though. Put it down. Watch it from a distance. That's the 5th one. It's the 5th one, Big Daddy. Settle down. Gonna end up buying me a knife. I use your links every time I use Amazon. Dude, that's so amazing, man. Thank you. Dude, that's so awesome. I appreciate that when you guys do that, when you guys use my Amazon affiliates to get to Amazon to make purchases. Dude, seriously. And I notice because I can tell my affiliates, my affiliate revenue is up right now. It's up higher than it's ever been. And I appreciate it because it does take quite a bit for it to equal something, you know, like real beneficial for the channel. And as of right now, it's beneficial to the channel. So, you know, obviously it's it goes up and down. Every month it restarts. So and it just tells me basically what I made over the last 28 days. That's what it does. So I always can see what I made over the last 28 days, but after it empties into my account or whatever, then it like basically starts back out, at nothing, and I watch it go up, and I do appreciate you guys using it. Yeah, thank you, Talica. That's awesome. I'm making an Amazon order tonight for strops, a Wiha tool, and some KPL. I'm definitely using that link. Awesome, Brandon. And remember, like I always tell everybody, if the exact, like, say if you click on one and you say, man, I want the other one down there, but I don't have it linked, you can still get that one. It'll still benefit the channel. You just got to use my links to get there. Tyler Payne, thank you. I also hold haptic. Oh, you got to fuck with the hold haptic today, man. I wanted it, but it's 850 bones. It's on NC Blade. If there are any ballers in the live tonight, I was gonna talk about the best actions. So the best flippers are holds. Holds, I'm pretty sure don't get me wrong, I felt insane. Shurogorovs, custom South African knife makers, lots of crazy good flipping action. The Holt, man, it's like it just takes the cake. It's like the best flippers ever. The best thumb stud action goes to Usler's. Usler's Custom, the Duck, best thumb stud action right there. Now, the best reverse flicker is probably Oz Machine Company, arguably. How much is it, Jared? How much is what? How much is what? I don't know. I don't know what we're talking about. But the best front flipper is I can't think of his name now. Damn it. Lefty EDC's got one. I always say he's got the best front flippers. I can't even think of the name now. I don't know. Koenig is nice, bro. Koenig is too. Koenig's up there too. Don't get me wrong. Koenig is up there. It's not better. It's not better than a Holt because it's different. Holt uses a detent and Holt uses a nub, and it's just different. I'm not saying like obviously it's they're neck to neck, right? But if they were a photo finish, Holt has it by like a nose hair. You know what I mean? Like that type of photo finish. Like if the wind just would have caught Holt wrong, he would have lost. Like that kind of race. I have a meager allowance, and I am considering a Civivi for EDC. Do you have a favorite? Dude, you can't go wrong with a Civivi. Doesn't matter which one you pick, you can't go wrong. If you like the design and the form of deployment it's offering. So, like, say if you say, I like flippers, pick a flipper. If you like thumb studs, pick a thumb stud knife. Just pay attention, though. If you want really good action, get bearings. They only have a couple knives that have washers, like the Hooligan, the Picaro, things like that. But can't go wrong with any of them. They're all fucking great. You can click on Jared's Amazon link and still search for anything. He still gets credit. So Chavoy, right? Exactly. You just have to use my links to get there. That's the trick. That's the secret. I don't know if I'm supposed to tell you guys that, but I seen another thing and they said that on explaining how it works. So, but yeah, as long as you use my links to get there and you decide to find something else, I still make a percentage. I mean, the percentage is very small because, like last year, they changed it. It used to be like up to 7%. It was like between like 1% and 7%. Now it's like under 3%. But it all adds up. It all adds up, and it really does benefit like massively. Like that's why I spend so much time on the links. I spend so much time on the links because it does benefit. Maurice. I just pinned your link to my home screen. I'll try and use it for Amazon shopping. Awesome. Awesome. I don't know which link you used, but yeah, any one of them. Any one of them. For sure. I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. What's that new Wii that has thumb studs? That one is really sweet. There's a few of them, but the Esprit, maybe the Esprit is it's a front flipper and thumb studs. That one is awesome. I really like that knife. If you could only have one, would it be any Holt, any production Shuro, or a Koenig Arius? Which ones are off? Fuck, man. Tyler, you son of a bitch. I really like my Shuros, so I don't want to give those up. I already got those, so we'll just take that off of there because I already got those. So it's between the Koenig Arius and a Holt. Man, okay, if it was a non-flipper, because I haven't tried one and I really want to try a non-flipper Koenig Arius. That's tough, man. That's tough. I don't think I could go wrong with either one, so I could just flip a coin. That's what I would do. I'd flip a coin because the whole I really like that thunk when you open it up. It's like chunk. Like you can hear it. It's so nice. The Koenig is fucking like I love it. But I would probably pick the Holt just because of that detent. It's so good. But I love the Koenig just also. I actually kind of prefer their heat treat a little bit more. But that's hard to say. They both get great heat treats. Is it the Spirit? Thug or Synergy. So the Synergy doesn't have thumb studs, I don't think, does it? Maybe I'm wrong. The Thug has thumb studs. Maybe the Synergy does, and I'm thinking of a different one. Let's see your Slimity. The Slimity? I got it right here. Ooh, that's kind of the way the Holt sounds. Like that. That's the way the Holt sounds. But yeah. Love this baby. The live doesn't do the colors justice, but I'm sure you guys have seen it. Spider-Man, the one with the orange peel titanium. That's the Esprit, the one with the orange peel. Awesome knife. Super smooth, man. That thing is very smooth. Not like fall shut action smooth, but like slow roll smooth. But obviously you can just easily flick it. I'm just saying like it's almost like you don't feel the bearings. You know, that type of feeling. Oh shit, I gotta flip the page. We haven't even been going through my topics. I talked about that. Jumped ahead on that one. Excuse me. Okay, so I wanted to talk about microchipping just a little bit. Those new Kubies are fire. Fire. I got them right here actually. Or oh yeah, I got two of them right here. Where's my other one? Oh, it's right here. Bang. This one. This one. And this one are all so badass. T10 pivots, T8 hardware. The detents on them are super well tuned. Like it's like Kubi hired. I'm not saying Kubi always had really good detents for the most part. I mean, almost every single Kubi I've ever tried had a great detent. But man, I don't know what happened. They stepped it up with these three models. I think also the edges of the holes on these are really easy to flick. This one has a light detent, but it's not light. It just seems like it because you have so much leverage into the flick. So it's like so easy to flip. This one has a stronger detent, but it's also a front flipper. But it's just a perfect size. and the hole is nice and big. This one's a larger knife, kind of like the Koenig, but it's a regular flipper. And the flipper tab is so high compared to the pivot that it's like you can't fail it. Ooh, that was with me really trying. I mean, I can if I really try, but it's not easy. Like, if you put any attempt to it, it's flying. Even if you barely attempt. But with the reverse flick, it's also, man, the hole is in a nice spot, and it's like you have this flat spot right here, so you have a good place to push off. I see somebody says they're over button locks for now. I got this new button lock. The tack, the EDC tack. It has a great sound. It's a good knife. D10's a little light on it. The spring's a little light. I'm in my video, I might take it apart and see if I can strengthen that spring a little bit. I think that might be a cool video for people. So I think a lot of people have button locks that have either light detents or maybe a little bit of lock rock that might be able to be fixed by a stronger spring. So I think that might be a good video for you guys to teach you guys how to make a stronger spring, possibly with the same spring or with new memory wire. But I would obviously link the exact memory wire and everything in the video. Tyler had to sell his old Xbox today for his 520. The knife hobby is addictive, man. I get it, bro. I get it. I get it. Yeah. On Amazon, the Kubi 322 is listed as in stock soon. Hard to find. No, I got them. I got them linked and on. Look at my videos. I got them linked. If you look at my Kubi unboxing, I got it linked, bro. I got it linked. Unless if they're sold out, I can. So one of them did sell out, and I had to redo it, and I went and redid it. And so if I need to, I will get another one. I can technically do it right now. Let me see if there's one. What was that one? The 322? Is that what that one was? If so, if it is gone, then everybody was listening. The 322. I think that was the one. But yeah, if everybody was listening, that's awesome, because then when I do the review, everybody can sit there and flick their knife while I'm doing the video. Microchipping. We're supposed to be talking about microchipping. We'll see if I got a link right now. Yes, I do. There's only one kind left, and it's the Jade G10 with the black blade, which is still awesome. You can dye the scales if you wanted to, but it looks kind of cool though. For $48.99, I can link it. Dogs are people. Dogs. I like people. I like people, but dogs are a close second though. Sometimes they beat people though. Sometimes I try to get out of blades, but I always find my way back to Jared. That's what's up, Maurice. That's what's up. The Smooth Criminal is another one. That one has a light detent. I did hear that they improved it a little bit, but I don't think that much. I'm thinking about drinking a soda, guys. I haven't drank a soda in a long time. My energy drinks don't count. Microchipping. Thank you, Talica. Got to keep me in line. All right, so microchipping. I want to talk about it because it boils down to a couple things. So if you guys don't know what microchipping is like where, say you just sharpened your edge, or maybe you didn't. Maybe it's a factory edge, whatever. But You take your finger and you run it down the edge, right? And you can feel little tiny chips, even though when you look at it, you don't see chips. You can't see any chips. You're like, what the fuck? But you can feel it, right? With your nail. It's not that big of a deal because it still can cut just fine. Sometimes microchipping can turn into bigger chips, like if you keep using it really hard or something without addressing it. Now, it can come from a couple different things. One, I mean, obviously if you hit stuff, but I'm saying under regular cutting, right? Let's say regular cutting tasks, or maybe, just your regular cutting tasks. But if you sharpened your angle and your angle is very low, meaning like a 15-degree angle or something like that, a very low angle. So now your edge is more fragile. Okay. If your heat treat on X steel, whatever steel, is a higher HRC, you got a better chance of getting microchips than if it was soft. If it was soft, what you would get, which is the same problem, the chips would be rolls instead of little tiny microchips. It'd be little tiny rolls. So you'd feel the edge this way, and you would feel like a burr basically, because instead of the edge chipping out, it would just go like this a little bit. Now, both are an issue, right? Both are an issue. Now, what can you do about it? You can do a couple different things. One, you can lower the angle. That will help. Two, you can put a micro bevel. So there's a couple different ways to do a micro bevel, but you can easily do a micro bevel without removing steel. So you can do it to the same knife that has the micro chipping. You could take a ceramic rod or plate, and you just take your knife and you go whoosh, whoosh, but at a high angle. I'm trying not to cut this pen. I don't have a ceramic rod. Picture this as a ceramic rod. You don't hold your angle straight up. You don't hold your angle flat. About halfway in between this way and all the way up. Maybe slightly higher than that. And you just give it a swipe and then a swipe. That's it. One good pass on each side. Maybe two. If it's significant. And then strop it. So what you're doing is you're going to put a micro bevel, a little bevel all the way down that edge. You won't even be able to see it. But what it will do is it will help strengthen the very tip of that edge so it doesn't microchip as easily as if it didn't have it. It's basically putting another bevel on the tip of your edge that you can't see. So it's a lot of people think that when you put a micro bevel that you're going to be able to see it. It's a micro bevel. It's microscopic. It's very, very tiny. Now, I'm not saying you can't put a micro bevel that you can see. Of course you can. Rockset sometimes does it, but a lot of times you can't. And then it winds up making the edge a lot more stable from microchipping. Now another way you can do it is how much pressure? Very light. No pressure at all. Like the weight of the blade. Because ceramic, it cuts pretty quickly. It will remove steel fast. It's much harder than steel, like a lot harder than steel. So since it's so much harder than steel, it'll create it with one pass. It's, so that you might need two passes per side. A lot of times you only need one. But then strop really good. And when you strop, lay your angle back pretty good, pretty significant, so that you can make sure you're not rolling the tip of it like this. You don't want to do that. You want to make sure it's kind of nice and low, with hardly any pressure, and strop it accordingly. 5 passes per side is fine. And another way is to convex your edge. If you convex your edge instead of having a V grind, have a convex grind, that will make your edge much more durable, much more stronger. Tyler Payne says, "Oh, Jared, I went to a local knife and gun store for the first time, and I found out they are the only retailers around who are licensed to sell Microtex, and they have some cool signature series. That's awesome. Hell yeah." A lot of the gun shops will carry, depending on which ones, will carry some good Microtex. We're live on Lefty EDC's channel now. John's internet died. What? Is Lefty live right now? Is that son of a bitch live when I'm live? No. Tri-State, you son of a bitch. You left me. You left me. You left me for Lefty. You left me for Lefty. I'm gonna fucking leave him a bad comment now. Let's see if this is true. Is this true, guys? 80 people in here. So that means 9 people already left to go over there. Well, I gotta spam them then. Let's see if this is true. Come on. Is he live? I don't see him live. Oh, he is live. That son of a bitch.
Surprise.
Oh, wait. That's not live. That's not live. That's Gravel Panic on the Edge. Oh, wait. I don't know what they're talking about. I don't see Lefty that's live. I think he's lying to me. Lefty says, "What's up? Just dropping in to show some love." Thanks, EDCIs. Thank you for the donation. Lefty's live, homie. Is he live? Oh, man. Oh, I'm fucking him up. Oh, he is live. I just found him. You sons of bitches. I'm just going to say, y'all fucking up my live. What's up, Lindy Lou? Lindy Lou's in here instead of over at Lefty's. Ha! Ha!
He's gonna be sending me some more jerky along with yours. He's making yours. He's like, "You want in on some more?"
You sons of bitches. What did he just say?
Pause.
I think he just read my comment.
Yeah.
Oh, Lindy's on both. Traitor, Lindy. Lindy's a traitor. I'm just fucking around, guys. I'll leave it alone after this. Anyways,
Stop watching his live. He's on his phone right now.
You bastards! Oh, these bastards. Can't believe these fucking traitors! Traitors. Come on over. This is my time. I got 20 more minutes. It's story time. I don't even have a good story written down. All right, we're gonna go over to theirs in just a minute. Ours is almost over. Let's talk about it. All right, so I think I went into all the microchipping I was going to talk about. I'm sure there was some more I want to talk about. I did have somebody. This isn't part of the story, but somebody made a comment and said, and they could be in here watching, and I'm not talking shit whatsoever. I just hope they know that, because I respect what they said. I really do, because they said that they seen in one of my things, and this goes back to the links, right? You guys use my links, and I appreciate it, and it does support the channel. So he said that if I'm reviewing knives, and Maurice, you bastard, cash must be getting low. I'm just messing with you. Thank you, man. Thank you. So the guy said that if I'm reviewing knives and making money off of it. Off of, you know, because I said in the links, I said, hey guys, if you guys use my links down in the thing, it supports the channel, right? And he said that if I'm doing that, it's like a conflict of interest, that I'm basically shilling, right? That I'm not reviewing a knife, I'm advertising a knife or whatever. And I told him, I think my response was something like that, you must not watch my channel enough, you know, and I respect what he says, you know, because I understand that perspective, that people would think that if you're making money off a fucking knife you're reviewing, then why wouldn't I only put knives I can link, right? And then just say, these are awesome, get them, right? Maurice, Cubo, thank you for the donations for Maurice's next super chat. Maurice, you don't have to do another one. Cuba already covered you. Cuba already got your back, Maurice. They're also talking about you. Well, I'll be probably in there in a minute. Let's finish this up. But, you know, and I understand why he's saying that, but like I told him, I said that if you watch my shit, I said I think you'll get I would hope that you would get from the things I say. I don't just advertise the knife. I always talk about the bad. And a lot of times I fix the knives that I have issues with. So not only am I reviewing them, I show the problems and I show how to fix them. Somebody advertising a knife isn't going to show you their issues. They're not going to tell you the problems. And then I've gotten into fights with some of the companies because of the shit I've said about their products. Like, shilling, you don't do that. You don't go through the effort of even doing that. And the next big thing, the biggest part, somebody advertising product doesn't test it. Not in reality. They might test it to prove to you that it can do XYZ, but they don't test it for real. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like say if you're advertising a belt, right? You put the belt on to show how it looks, but you don't wear it for 6 months and then show, you know, the results and how it actually, you know what I mean? The issues that it had where the strings came out or the leather came apart or whatever. Maurice, you bastard. You bastard. Thank you, Maurice. Still a bastard though. But I do appreciate it. But yeah, it just I didn't get insulted or anything because I do understand that perspective, that the majority of people that are going to make money off of a product, but I'm not making money from the companies. The companies don't give me money. I make money from the links that I am affiliated with from Amazon. That's an Amazon affiliate. A majority of the knives I review that are on the channel, I can't even get an affiliate link to. A lot of them I can, but not all of them. And the companies that send me a knife, right? The companies that send me a knife that I review, one, that's not money. I get the money from the AdSense of doing multiple videos on it, or maybe over time or something like that. But you know, most videos don't get much money. So it's not like, you know, you're getting rich off of, if like say a review pulls a few cents, you know, like it doesn't, you know, it's not like the time I put into that review really makes out. That's why everything else is great, like the links, the Patreon, all those things. Then maybe one video, you know, can add up to a couple dollars, but then over time that stuff can add up a little bit. And, you know, that's why it does take so long. But by the time you start making money on a channel, you fucking put in a lot of work, a lot of time. Like, most people wouldn't do it. If you knew the time you'd have to put in, you won't do it. Like, you just realize, like, you could do pretty much anything else. And if you do anything else that much, you're going to make a lot of money. So, but it's the long-term game. It's the long-term game. It's the game of saying that you want to do it. You wind up doing it for years. A couple of them you don't get paid on. Then you slowly start getting paid. Then after a few years, then you actually start making good money. And then you could possibly make money when you're not doing anything. So it is playing a long-term game. Riley! Lindy Lou says, Tyler, yeah, definitely. We can do all kinds of work. Yes, shout out to Lindy Lou and Richie B, even though she's a traitor. You guys can go over there and check out Lindy Lou and Richie at Knife Modders for all your knife modding needs. I was talking about them earlier for carbonizing lock faces. The damn traitors, but definitely get your lock faces carbonized by Lindy Lou and Richie B. But yeah, it just but he was cool though. Me and him talked it out and he understood, and he said he did kind of watch the channel, or he does watch the channel, and he said it just kind of stood out that I said that like that I was advertising a link and saying I make money off of links while I'm reviewing a product. And he said the only way you can actually review a product is if you're not making anything off of it, unless if it's just like AdSense. I think he was going with that, because otherwise you're going to make something off of it if you have AdSense, right? But reviewing a product, supposedly, I think he was looking at it like you don't have an affiliation with any type of money coming from the fact that you're reviewing it, aside from maybe the AdSense. In my opinion, I don't think that's true. And I'll explain why. Dwayne, thank you, man. I appreciate the donation. D-Bass, I'm not a traitor. Stand till the end. Yeah, see? You motherfuckers. D-Bass ain't a traitor. Lindy. Yeah, we love you anyways, Lindy. But the reason why I don't think so about that is I think there's a difference, right? So say my affiliates. If I'm reviewing the product already and I say this product is good, this is a good product, right? And you guys get it. If I'm lying, it'll come out in the wash. Hands down, right? Hands down, it'll come out in the wash. If I tell you it's bad, but yet you still want it, why wouldn't I put it on in the links? If you still want it, who am I to say you shouldn't get it? And why shouldn't I make a profit if I'm already affiliated with Amazon? Why wouldn't I put in the link? I showed it in my video. Then if I don't do that, literally every time I review any type of knife or anything and I don't put a link in, I will get 50 comments. Where's the link? Where's the link? Of people that never watch the channel. They're just newcomers coming in, but they want a link. They don't want to have to Google it. And I have to tell them, like, listen, man, I can't get a link. You're going to have to Google it. They get upset. Like, they want a link in there so that it makes it easy for them to find. They don't have to type into Google because everybody wants everything so fast, like fast food. They just want to be able to go blink, blink there, right? And I get that. That's why I try to put them in. So why wouldn't I, if I'm going to do that, make 10 cents off of it, right? Like, of course I'm fucking gonna if I have the opportunity to. But does that mean I shilled for it? Does that mean that I'm going to lie about the product for that 10 cents or whatever, right? Of course not. Like, not for me, maybe somebody else, but then you're going to notice that guy. You will trust me. You guys know who the fucking shills are. You will see them a mile away. They won't test the damn product. They'll always recommend stuff. They'll never tell you about the actual bad things. They won't show you the failures. You know what I mean? Like, they won't do that. See what I'm saying? Like, I show that shit every fucking other knife. Like, there's lots of, like, I mean, I've went through it a lot of times. The people, the companies I've gotten in arguments with and fights with, and, you know, I've even almost lost friends because of this shit. But it's not my fault, you know. It's the product. I'm not reviewing you as a human being. I'm just reviewing your product. Don't beat me up when I come to your show and you have your friends Tootsie Roll Joe. Right. I have lots of Ganzos. Ruben has lots of Ganzos. And Dwayne, thank you. I challenge everyone to donate at least $2. Dwayne, don't do that to me. Don't do that. I still got story time. Jared shows plenty of flaws on knives. Props on that. Thank you, Fiend. I appreciate that. I appreciate that because I always have the negative section. In the 5 fast knife reviews, I don't always get into the bad things because that's just a 5 fast. That's not, I'm trying to do it quick. That's really just for the it's not even just for the algorithm. People love those the most. Those are like the most loved videos. It's the real knife guys who want to watch the real reviews because they want to see how does it cut? What's the geometry like? How thick is it behind the edge? What like you know what I mean? Like they want the fine details. They want to know how does the clip actually work? I want to see it. They want to say, what are the bad things? I want to know. Right? In the 5 fast, that's kind of like the fast food, right? It's just here it is. Check it out. Here's how the action is. Here's how I'll tell you how the cutting is. Get to the next one. Motherfuckers. Bean, thank you, man. Let me just pull this thing out. Ooh, that's too loud for you guys. Challenge accepted. Oh no, here we go. Oh no. Zulu Limo 3375. Thank you for the donation. You guys don't have to do this. I appreciate Charlie Wood. Thank you. 10 bones. Thank you, Charlie. Thank you so Maurice. Maurice, you already donated, Maurice, too many times. Somebody cut Maurice off. Thank you guys. I appreciate the donations. You guys do not have to do that, but I do thank you. But let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Thank you, Bill. This damn dinging's gonna burn your guys' eardrums out. Fuck you guys. Wait. Maurice, you're already way ahead of yourself, man. I appreciate it. Kirk. Thank you, Kirk. All right, you guys. Settle down now. Settle down. Is there a better budget Benchmade alternative than Ganzo? Asher Knives. Asher Knives, yes. Asher Knives is a really good alternative. They have axis locks, frame locks, and liner locks. Great guy, great company. Like $80, $85. Jared, you're Reese's stripper on the pole tonight. Yep, I'm the stripper on the pole. I would love to have that bark texture put on my Slim Mini, but it would void the forever warranty. Yeah, it would. It would. If you mess with that, it's gonna void the warranty. You kind of gotta pick your battles on the Medfords. Like, if you don't think you'll ever use that warranty, then do it. Then I'll tell you something else that'll make you feel a little bit better after I fuck with that. Ed, thank you for the 2 bones. Deuces. Thank you. I appreciate that. Majority of things that would go wrong with your Medford can be fixed from the knife community. The traders, Richie B and Lindy, well, not Richie B. I think it was just Lindy Lou who was the trader tonight. But Richie B and Lindy Lou could fix the majority of the issues your Medford would have. And now there's other people out there that if there's an issue they can't take, there's a lot of guys out there that can fix the issue. Granted, it won't be for free. It will not be for free like Medford would be. But if you ran into certain issues, you could get it fixed. So if you did want to modify something, it's not that big of a deal. You know what I mean? There's enough knife modders out here. Like, say if you have lock stick, they'll carbonize it. If you start getting lock failure, there's somebody out there that can fix your lock. You know what I mean? Like, there's just everything out there you can get fixed. Yeah. The one thing you can't do is if you snap a blade, but not too many people are snapping Medford blades. You know what I mean? Dwayne, 8 bones. That's not true. He told me to turn on lefty. Yeah, right. I don't believe you. Richie, she's talking shit about you. That is what a trader would say. It's exactly what a trader would say. Nick, Maurice. That locked it can be an issue, man. Jared, did you read my warranty experience with Microtech? I don't know. Did I? I don't remember. I don't remember now. I think I did, but I'm fogging out right now. I've never sent a knife back to a company. If it's my knife, I'm taking it apart. Yeah, but what he's talking about is modding it. Like Medford will take care of the warranty if you take it apart. As long as you don't fuck it up. If you put it back together and it's fine, he'll cover a warranty. His issue is don't mod it, right? And that's what we're talking about is modifying. If you modify it, he ain't gonna touch it. He'll send it right back to you. I'm going to beat off on picture of Betty White. Hopefully it's a younger picture of Betty White. You caught me red-handed. Yeah, I know. We all know. But I don't send back many knives either. I take care of most issues. I've sent back a Benchmade before. That's it. Everything else I've done myself, including Benchmades. Because it takes about 2 weeks. Oh, wait, no, sorry. In a ProTech. I paid for a reblade on a ProTech, which are great. Those type of warranties are great. Like Benchmade and ProTech. If you've sharpened it too much and you've gotten the life out of the blade and you're like, man, I just want a new blade. Like I fucked up the blade. Like I sharpened it too much, whatever. You can just send it in and pay them $40 and get a new blade. 40, 60, whatever it is. So that's awesome. A brand new blade like my Benchmade 940. It's had a lot of life taken off of it. I could send it back in and get a brand spanking new blade. That's awesome. That would be interesting. Elbow cup. Ruben. I love those little sayings where you know what they mean. 9 of the 13 our founding fathers were Freemasons. Okay. Tyson Fury versus Wilder. I'm hoping Tyson Fury, to be honest. I just like him better. But that's gonna be a tough one, man. It's gonna be a tough one. Who do you guys got? That cat in the box emoji was awesome, Ruby. I didn't see that. I'm hairy palmed, Marie says. My palms are too hairy to hide. Breeze, you made it, you fuck. It's gonna be your birthday this month, Big Daddy. We're gonna have to send you a knife. Speaking of that, one of the winners the other day on the live didn't contact me. I know I named 2 different winners on both numbers. I sent the prize out to Ian. He was one of the winners. Then the second giveaway, or the first one of the other, didn't. It's not yet, Mom. It's not till the end of the month, or I'm not gonna say the date, but anyways, yeah. If you know you won my giveaway, and I'll know, right? Then man, can you guys believe somebody tried to get MC's giveaway by making up a fake account? That's why I'm not going to sit here and say the name, because somebody will probably just make up a fake account and try to come and get me. I'll find out. I'll know. He didn't last time, certainly. Okay. I don't think we have time for a story time, and I really, I don't know if we only have a few more minutes. Up to you guys. I don't think you guys are ready for any stories. Kara versus Jared in a fight. My money's on Kara. Maybe. Yes, I can believe it. You guys want to hear a story time? Or you guys want to just shoot the shit? Oregon says story. We got one story. If I could stick my tongue up my ass, I would never leave the house. I think most people wouldn't. All right, we got 3 stories. Well, Riley, thank you for the donation. Don't forget Kubi 322 link. Love your videos. let me just do this right now. I'll just drop it in, so you better get it quick. I'll put it up in the video just in case after, but here, I'll drop it right now in the chat. But so I really didn't have much of a story time set up, so either give me an idea or I'm gonna come up with this dumb one I got. It's kind of dumb. I don't even know where I'm going with it, but hey Meg, thank you for the donation, man. You guys are crazy tonight. What the fuck? I probably made like fucking $80 off of you fucks tonight. I appreciate it. Thank you. You guys have no idea how much it helps. Shit. If you guys seen the other day, man, I went to the USPS with 10 packages. Think about that. That's 10 packages. Some of them are insured, some of them not, but still, man, this shit's fucking. Plus, I pay $40 just to get there and back. You know, 20. It's like 15 to $18 to get there, and then the same thing coming back. All right, here is the chat. So, or I'm putting in the chat. All right, story time. I'm not gonna tell any strip club stories. Those are like the Vegas stories. I can't believe we passed 17,000. All right, here is. Where's my live at? Why don't I see it? I don't see my own live. Isn't that fucking crazy? Hold on a second. Why is my shit done like this? I couldn't even find lefties earlier. Here it is. So, okay, so the first time when I got locked up, and this is kind of a dumb story. There's the link, guys. There's the link to the KU22 222. Thank you. Yes, it was only 15. Just like I told you guys, we are gaining over 5,000 followers every 28 days. Over. That's insane. So, first time I got locked up, you know, I really didn't know like the ropes, right? Like with the COs and everything else. And I don't even know where I'm going with this, but so it's where I was like, it's kind of petty because like the littlest things you'll get in trouble, the littlest thing. And I understand it. It's to keep order. Like there's too many gangs, too much bullshit. Like they have to keep order. First time Kirk says, yeah, first time. But you know, I'm not used to it at all. Like I don't know anything, nothing, right? Nothing at all. Like I know little stuff. Like I guess before that, you could say I had a couple overnighters, but I had never really like, because there's a difference, right? When you go in, there's a difference between being like in the bullpen. The bullpen is like where you just come in. That's where you can basically like, you're just held in like one cell with a bunch of people and you're going to get out. You're going to be able to sign yourself out, you know, or get bailed out really quick. If they know somebody's coming to get you, you know, if you have bail, right? That's if you have bail, because we don't have bail bondsmen here in Illinois. I've been in other states where I had to have bail bondsmen. Kate, put in that bell that worked. I know I'm gonna break this fucking thing. You guys hear ding 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 bang. It's just gonna break. Thank you. Okay, I appreciate it. So but yeah, the bullpen though, you know, there's a difference between being in there and then going in the back. Once you go in the back, you're gonna be there for a couple days. You're just right beyond the door in this specific place. I'm talking about a specific place. So that is to hold you somewhere else, because a lot of times people wind up getting out within a day or two, right? So they just leave them in there. The thing is that a lot of people also get to go to court the next morning. So like, and the judge will be, you know, like, you know, they'll lower the bond, or maybe they'll just let you sign out, right? Kirk, $5 if you promise to never go back in. Oh, I'm never going back. If I ever go back, it's gonna be for violence, right? If I ever go back, it's gonna be for some sort of act of heroicness or whatever the word would be. Like it's going to be, you know, something like that. And I would hope that under those terms, I wouldn't get locked up, but I wouldn't promise that I wouldn't stick up for somebody, or, you know, you can't promise you won't get into a fight with somebody on the street or defend yourself or something like that. You know what I mean? But aside from that, yeah, I can promise I'll never go back. But yes, I promise. But so when you go back there, you'll be back there for a couple days. Then once you move from there, now you're gonna go to what's called what the fuck is it called? It's called something. I forget what it's called, but it's basically just an area where they send you for a few days, sometimes a couple, sometimes a week. It just depends, but they send you there for a little bit just to make sure who you're affiliated with, where they can put you if you've ever been there before, who you've gotten into fights with, so they don't put you on the same floor with those people. If you're in certain gangs, they find out basically where to put you in the jail and where not to put you, right? Like one time I got into a fight and I wound up coming back, and they didn't have any room on any of the other floors, and the only floor they could put me on was a floor I'd gotten into a fight in, and I'm guessing the guy was still there or something, so they refused to put me in there, and I wound up in there, which you don't want to be in there. You want to get moved to a floor because you don't have any privileges, none, like unless if you get moved to a floor. So they left me in there because of this fight I got into, and I didn't even know for like a week. And then I asked, like, why am I being left in here? And they told me why. Anyways, point is, so what did you do to Erica play in the hide and go seek? What? Anyways, Mom, I'm talking about fucking jail right now. We're not talking about hide and go seek. I love you, Mom. So I'm trying to think of what the hell it's called. I can't even think of what it's called. I normally know what it's called. Anyway, so when you're getting in though, especially once you go upstairs, because when you're still downstairs, there's really nothing you can do to get in trouble, because fighting, that's about it. Because there's nothing to do. You're sleeping on the floor. You're lucky if you get a cot, and it's just packed with people. Like there's nothing. There's a toilet, big room, little mattresses, and that's it. And the food is so shitty. So finally I go upstairs, and when I go up there, there's rules now, right? Like classifications. Nick, thank you. Thank you, Nick. Where were you 5 minutes ago, motherfucker? Thank you, Nick. Yes, classifications. Someone's been locked up. So I'm in classifications. You know how you bust yourself out? You know the word that somebody can't remember. Anyways, so now I'm in classifications, but I don't know like the little rules, right? Like petty ass shit, like when you can come out of your room, to just dumb things, sitting so many people at a table, moving chairs, to whatever, you name it, it's so structured that you get in trouble for anything. So I get in, I don't even remember the first thing I did, but I did something. And they were like, come on, you're going to lockdown or whatever. Yeah, lockdown. And I'm like, what? What? And it's like, yeah, you got a day, 24-hour lockdown, right? And it's like, for what? It's like you sat over there, you sat at the wrong table, right? Basically, you sat like 5 to a table or something stupid. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, and so now I'm mad. So since I'm mad, right? And like to me, I'm used to fighting with the cops. So like these guys are COs, so to me it's just cops. I understand why they have to keep order. I understand that, but when you're in there and you're cocky and arrogant and stubborn, you wind up saying things that you probably normally wouldn't. So, you know, I wanted to tell him to go fuck himself or something like that, whatever. Right. Well, then all of a sudden, like, I think it was actually a few hours the first time. Like they were like, you're getting a half a day lockup or whatever. And then it wound up going to like 24 hours and then 36 hours because I'm being a cocky prick telling him to go fuck himself. So now I'm getting in like 24-hour lockup. Well, the other COs, they get a paper, a form like written to them of who's on lockup, you know, meaning lockups where in this case you can't leave your room. You're stuck in your room 24 hours, you can't come out. Your door opens up because you have a cellie. So your cellie can come out, but you can't. So, and they watch for this shit. So when I see what were your charges, the first, I don't remember the first one. I mean, like I said, I had been to jail before, but I had never like did any like more than 1 day or 2 days, you know, down in the bullpen. But I think it was for a warrant for failure to appear or something like that. Something stupid, something petty. I think I had a warrant for going to court and I didn't appear. So I had a warrant out for my arrest. And I think that was the first one for like spending longer than a couple days. Maurice, you're in your own story. I want to see Jared's rocks at an XM24. Before I leave, I'll break them out. So then the next one comes in and they know that I can't do anything or whatever. And I come out because I'm like, fuck this shit, right? So I just come out, you know, because I see it's not the same person. And they're like, you know, they call me up. They don't know who I am, but they can see where I'm coming from, that I came out, you know. And so they call me out. Next thing I knew, I wound up having like multiple days for nothing. Like I'm talking about, these were all nothing burgers or whatever. They were like nothing. It's like the dumbest little petty high school like bullshit you could come up with. And I'm getting so mad because I don't know the fucking rules. I don't know the rules. So since I don't know the rules, I don't know what I'm breaking. Like you're breaking all these rules and putting me in seg, and because like segregation is what I wound up ending up going to because I didn't know the rules. But I'm also being a cocky fucker too because I'm mad. Because it's like, how can I break a rule I don't know? Right? I can understand, right? If you came up and said, listen, I know you're new. I know you haven't been here. You can't do that. If you do that, you'll get put in lockup. But when you're just like, Jared, lockup. Go fuck yourself. So next thing I knew, man, I wound up getting so many that I didn't even care anymore. Like I was like, fuck it, give them all to me. I got to that point. Like they were all the whole room. So 60 guys or something, they're getting pissed. They're getting mad because like I'm about to fuck it up for all of them. Because like I'm to the point to where like I don't give a fuck. Like I'm ready to fight the CO, like because it's getting so petty, you know. It's like I want to come out of my room. I want to go to the phone. I want to do things like that, but I can't inside the room. But I keep getting in trouble for the dumbest shit that I don't even know I'm doing wrong. So, and sometimes like after a bit, like your roommate or whatever, like, yeah, he'll tell you like you can't do that because they'll do this or whatever. But after a certain point, when you're already so deep, now you're committing little bullshit because you're already in trouble. So it's like I already have 3 days, and now you're so antsy. You're like, I'm gonna have to break this rule to get to that phone or whatever, and try not to get caught. You know, like now you're trying to do petty ass shit just to get by, and you kind of do that because like you're stuck in your own head when you have nothing to do. I mean, lock yourself up in the bathroom for 3 days and see how crazy you go, right? So you wind up like starting to where you don't care, and like you're breaking rules and doing all kinds of dumbass shit that winds up leading to even worse lockup. So I wound up going to seg because I wouldn't stop breaking dumbass rules. But yeah, so then the next time when I wound up going, Also, none of this stuff gets down to the judge, so it's not like it matters, right? But anyways, but the next time I wound up going, I knew these rules, so then that didn't wind up happening. I wound up getting in trouble for other bullshit, like actual bad shit. Hey Jared, what's your favorite fixed blade under $200? Probably a Tops, but I don't know. It's hard to say. There's so many fixed. Oh, BGM Knives has some really good fixed blades, but Tops, BGM Knives, maybe some Bark Rivers, Rocky del Carto. Ooh, look how smooth that bastard is. So smooth. Mine's definitely broken in. Like, I know some people's are not as broken in as this one. Mine is very, very broken in. And then we got the Big Daddy. Do you have a scar? I have lots of scars. Oh, I just tightened this. Did I tighten that pivot? There we go. I think my pivot's a little tight. Do I have a scar from what? Are you talking to somebody else? Probably talking to somebody else. Yeah, that polish is nice. Oh, you're talking about from the rock set? Yeah, I got a scar. Yeah, I got a scar. I actually got two, but it looks like one because I stabbed myself with a damn Harsey folder a week later because I didn't. If that's what you guys are talking about, I after I dropped the rock set on my hand and cut myself to the bone. My grip wasn't very good. Even though I had no nerve damage, I was fine. I would have healed just fine. It was such a clean cut, but like a week later, I still didn't have much grip, because you have a cut. And I was trying to hold something. I was cutting something with a Harsey, and Harseys are thick, so they don't just cut right through something. So I had to put extra pressure into it. And when it cut through, it went bam right into the same cut all the way down to the bone. And I severed a nerve. Now I can't feel my thumb. That was last year or whenever it was. What's your gnarliest scar? I got scars on my back from road rage on a dirt bike. I got my eyebrow from getting smashed over the head with a bottle. I got this. I have multiples on my middle fingers, across my middle fingers. One's from a buoy chopping wood. Another one's from a piece of glass. It's pulling glass out of a window. And when it was like in a window and I went to pull it out, the piece of glass was hanging down from the top. And I was trying to pull it out. And when I pulled it out, there was another piece down here. And it went, bam! And I hit this one down here, all the way down to the bone. My hands are just riddled with scars. I did construction my whole life. So I have scars from like this. I tore the whole front of my finger off. I've just got scars galore. Some of them are from knives. I admit it. Some of them are from knives. But a lot of them are just from petty shit, bullshit, I ER myself. If I go to the ER, it's bad. You can guarantee that. Like, even when I got hit with the bottle and my eyebrow was hanging off, I didn't go to the doctor. I don't know which one either. It would have been after I first got the Rockstead because it still had a fresh, crispy edge on it. You don't have any scars on your middle fingers. You just want to flick us off. Right, exactly. Jared, what do you think of the Neeve 25%? So I bought one so that I could tell you guys. So it's not as aggressive. So that's the difference. So the scratch pattern is less. They're lighter. So I don't think it's worth it for the lower grit stones. I don't think it really makes sense. Now, like, say if you said, I want a 600 grit, but not as aggressive, then maybe, then it would make sense. Then you would get the exact same stone as the 50/40 micron. You'd get the other 50/40 micron and 25%. But I think where it will benefit you is getting the 800 and the 1200, you know, maybe the 400 or something like that, because then you could go from your 3/2 micron to the other 3/2 micron, or 7/5 micron, with less diamonds in it, because it's just, instead of 100% diamond, it's 25% diamond, so it doesn't have as aggressive as a scratch pattern. That's the only difference. Outpost 76 says the 240 stones were like 600. I can tell you right now, you can go and Google it. You can Google micron into grit rating and just look it up. I forget. So my 50/40 micron, which might be the 240. I'm talking about microns. So there's the F240, the F400, the F800, the F1200. That's what you're talking about. What I'm talking about is flip the stone over, and on the other side it says the microns. The microns are 2 numbers. So it'll be like 100/80 or 50/40. That's one side. When you flip it over, the other side will have 2 other numbers. Each side has technically 3 numbers. It has the 2 numbers, which are the micron rating, and then their F rating. The F rating is Russia's grit rating, which is completely different than ours. Their 1200 is 5,000 grit. So think about it like that. Their F1200 is 5,000 grit, which is 3/2 micron. I know it's difficult. I know it's hard to comprehend. That's why I always told you guys, just take the micron number. That's all you gotta do. Take the micron number and Google it into grit. Then you can get your grit. Don't look at the F rating. The F rating to me is just basically a number on a stone. It's not, it translates nothing. It's hard to get it because you have to literally grab their sheet, which shows like the F class ratings versus this rating versus our grit rating. And now I'm learning it because I've understood it for so long. But at first, I just started out by taking the grit rating and transferring it into micron. That was the easiest way for me. You sold me in the sharpening system you got with recommended 3 venev stones. Yes, yes. The only thing I would recommend after that is to get an aggressive diamond plate. Like 50 grit, 100 grit, something like that. That's for reprofiling, because venev stones are great, but they can reprofile just fine. Don't get me wrong. If you don't want to get a diamond plate, I reprofile on them all the time. However, it's nice using a diamond plate sometimes to just hurry up and reprofile, then go to those stones. A lot of times I don't do that. A lot of times I just use the venev stones, but it's nice sometimes when you got to hog off some steel. Like if you really got to reprofile quick and you don't want to spend a lot of time, I got one of these Norton sharpening stones. What you think about that? It was all plugged up. Took it out to the sidewalk, water, trying to clean it out. It was black all the way around. So I don't know what Norton you have. There's a bunch of different Nortons. So Nortons can be really good. I think it just depends on which one you have. But yeah, you do got to keep them clean. So what you do is you use oil or soap and water, one or the other, when you sharpen on it. Because what'll happen is the oil helps lift the metal particles off of the surface to help keep it clean. That way it'll be easier to clean. Or soap and water. If you've already used oil, keep using oil. If you haven't used any oil, you can use soap and water, but then keep using soap and water. You can't mix and match without doing a complete degreasing. That's the only way you can do it, is if you do a complete degreasing to switch. But there's a bunch of different Norton stones. So like if I was you, I would get a very low grit, like aluminum oxide or diamond. One of the two. Get something very low grit, like 200 grit, 100 grit, something like that. Then use another stone, a 400 or 500 grit, 600 grit. Then have that be your finishing stone, or one more. You always need more than one, unless if you just use diamonds and you like really coarse edges. That's the way I would go. But yeah, there's cheap aluminum oxide stones you can get. You can get cheap diamond plates too. You can literally get a $10 piece of shit diamond plate that will sharpen up just fine. It just won't last very long, but it'll work great for like 10 sharpenings. All right, guys, I can see we are well past the time. I love you guys. You guys have been awesome. What do you guys think about the Ferrum Forge LANSKY XL release date? Is still just saying October. Oh, shit. I don't know about that one. The Ferrum Forge LANSKY XL? I don't know about that one. He's a good guy, not an asshole like me. Is somebody calling me an asshole or somebody else? I just posted the Neeves conversation chart. Oh, cool. Here you go. Go check out Shane's. He's got the conversion chart on his Instagram. If you guys want to check out Shane Gable's Instagram, he put the conversion chart. Yeah, there's a conversion chart. It's just it can be yeah, it can be frustrating. It can be difficult to understand. That's why, like I said, just take the microns. It's so simple. Every one of the stones on one side says a micron rating. So just take that. That's going to be the double number. You can just take one of those numbers because it's just a ratio. Like if it says 100/80, it's between 100 micron and 80 micron. That's all that is. If it says 50/40, it's between 50 and 40 micron. Every fucking time I get to watch you live because of the time difference from UK, and you will be leaving. I'm sorry, Jim. Well, check it out. Go over to Lefty EDCs. I might be jumping in there. I still have a little bit of battery left. I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys watching. Man, thank you guys for all the donations. Q1 Fiend just put Gem Society. I'm guessing that is the conversion chart. If you guys want to check it out. Thank you guys for all the donations. Thank you to all the Patreons. Thank you to everybody who comes to my lives relentlessly and hangs out with me. I have such a good time with you guys every 3 days. But guess what, though? What are we at? We're at 17K. So this means that we should be, you guys already know it, we should be at 18K on Wednesday. If everything keeps going smoothly, next Saturday, would it be next Saturday? No, it would be next Wednesday. We should be at 20K. Holy shit. That would be insanity. Insanity. That's fast. I love you guys. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Peace. Thanks, Brandon. Oh, wait. Before everybody leaves. Hey, I need you guys to do me a favor. I told Metal Complex. I keep writing him a thing. I said, I told him, I said, I'm coming for you. He wrote me back and he said, well, can I ride your coattails after you pass me? I said, no. And I put like a thinking face. I said, we'll see. So I need you guys, when you guys see him anywhere, if it's on Instagram, on his videos, all you guys got to say is put Neeves is coming for you. That's it. Neeves is coming for you. That's it. Just say that. I love you guys. Peace. He'll get it. Trust me. I keep fucking with him.